Hi everyone and welcome back. Today I wanted to share a little recap of my Sunlight and Stories readathon. This one is probably going to be a little different than I originally imagined when I planned it at the beginning of summer. If I'm being completely honest, July was a difficult month. There were lots of personal things happening behind the scenes, and because of that my reading looked very different than I expected. One thing I noticed is I kept reaching more for comfort reads instead of starting the books that were on my Summer TBR. At first, I was disappointed. I had this vision of reading all these exciting new books, checking off prompts, and making my way through my list. But sometimes reading isn't about sticking to the plan, it's about finding stories that meet you where you are. And this month, comfort was exactly what I needed. So, did I read the books I originally planned? Not really. But I also don't see that as a failure anymore. Instead of forcing myself to rush through books just to say I finished the readathon, I've decided to extend my personal Sunlight and Stories readathon into August. There's no prize for finishing on time, and I'd rather enjoy the books than treat them just like another item on a checklist. Reading is supposed to be something that brings me joy, not something that adds pressure. One thing I've spent some time reflecting on in my journal was how much our reading lives change with the seasons of our own lives. Sometimes we're excited to discover new authors and big adventures. Other times, we need the familiarity of books we've already loved or stories that feel comforting and safe. I think both kinds of readings are valuable. This month reminded me that it's okay to adjust expectations. It's okay to change plans. And it's okay if the reading season you imagined isn't the one you actually have. As I head into August, I'm excited to keep the spirit of Sunlight and Stories going. I'll still be working through the books I originally hoped to read, just on a timeline that feels better to me. I'd love to know how your summer reading has been. Did you stick to your TBR, or did you end up following your mood instead? Let me know in the comments, because I have a feeling I'm not the only one whose reading plans changed. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. I hope this reminds you that every page counts, even if it wasn't part of the original plan. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay cozy and keep reading.